This show is clean.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 724. Hi, it's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus it's a new Into an interview with the Dallas electronic dance band ISHI. Not ISHI, but ISHI. And what is this happening with social media? Mike's Daily Podcast. People saying that they don't like it. What? We'll find out more about that. I'm not getting this story from Wikipedia. Mike's Daily Podcast. And on yesterday's show, Bonita told me something interesting. She said she hates the cheap samples at Williams-Sonoma when they give you only a little thing, a little sample. They don't give you a nice sample like they used to do. Williams-Sonoma can bite my rear end. Now I apologize to you because that was completely uncalled for. Mike's Daily Podcast. And there is something that I have discovered. I hate mumblecore. I hate people Daily when they podcast mumble. Yeah! You must enunciate. You must speak clearly so that I can understand you. That's an important thing to me. Oh, look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega, and I wanted to tell you that I never mumble. No, you just got that weird accent, so it's just hard to understand you regardless. Thank you. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the back of that thing.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I had this really hard time with my last girlfriend. She mumbled and I never understood what she said, and I kept saying, what? What? And she got really upset with me, and we broke up because we had a failure to communicate day.
Yes, once again, miscommunication. That used to be your name, right, Madame remember that, Madame Rootabega? What'd you say, Michael Matthew? It's hard to understand you when you're mumbling. You used to be named Miscommunication. That is right! I was miscommunication and I caused all the people in the world to miscommunicate. This happened on one day, last February. Oh, that's interesting, huh? What a rich backstory all the characters here have at the last place on earth, don't they? Last place on earth. What a fantastic place, isn't it? Yes, Michael Matthew, I like it.
I like the big couches you got here, day.
Yeah, big couches that I can lay down on, except for the ones that your dog laid down on, because that's gross. Do you know that? Oh, Basil doesn't take too kindly to you saying that. Ow! Ow! That tickles! Ow! Do you know that I'm ticklish? He said to you, stay off my couch, you strange-looking man. I like to wear jumpsuits. Do you know that? And that's true. We find that when we look at the cartoons that you are featured in, Bison Bentley. And we also find out from places like the American Customer Satisfaction Index, or the ACSI, that Americans still love to hate Facebook and other social media services. This annual survey released today, social media companies are the fourth lowest scoring with consumers after internet service providers, subscription television companies, and airlines. The industry has a score of 71 on a 100-point scale. This in an article from USA Today. Facebook and LinkedIn ranked the lowest of the 7 companies surveyed. Twitter didn't fare much better. But the news is not all bad for social media. All 3 companies are making consumers happier than they did a year ago. Yes, 4.4% happier. I am surprised at the movement at the bottom of the industry, said ACSI Director David Van Amberg. He says, but it remains to be seen if these scores can hold on as social media continues to monetize its users. Facebook gained 8% to 67, but that increase was before news hit that the giant social network manipulated the news feeds of users as part of a psychological experiment. You know, I haven't commented on this story yet, but I have said many times on this show how I hate Facebook's news feed just basically picks random stories for me to read. When I want to read the most recent stories, but it won't default to most recent stories. So I'm forced to watch and read people's stories, videos, pictures, etc. that I don't necessarily care about, and that's why I get all up in an uproar. Meanwhile, Twitter scored a new high, up 6% to 69. Pinterest, on the other hand, has the highest score of any social media company. Its customer satisfaction was up 6% in the past year. What do you think about all this? Do you think Facebook is ridiculous for not letting us go into settings and permanently change the news feed so we get the most recent stories and not the popularity contest stories or the stories that are the most popular on Facebook from my friends? I want to know just what is the most recent thing that people are posting. What do you think? Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-724-Music@gmail.com. Read your comments on the section emails from email. And speaking of that,
Email for email.
well, it wasn't really an email, but it was a comment on one of the shows that actually I did back in May 27th to be exact. It was an interview I did with the band Dredge. And Jim Chavan commented, "New Dredge record, ... do want happy face." Emoji, the equal signs with a parentheses. Wow, that does make a happy face. How cool. So I just want to say that show on YouTube, because I, upload the podcast to YouTube as well, even though it's not showing any video, because this is an audio radio type podcast. That particular show has been going gangbusters. I don't know who reposted that or where it's showing up, but I have had over 100 clicks on it, which is pretty good for the shows that I upload to YouTube. So there you go. And I think it's a lot of Germans that have discovered the show, because Germans love Dredge, the band Dredge out of Los Gatos. Go back. You can actually listen to that interview. It's on MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. It's at the top, you see the interviews from 2013 to the present. Click on that and scroll down. You'll find the Dredge interviews. I believe we did 3 segments in total, and they were great to talk to, and I love their music, as I guess a lot of Germans do. Octoliebe Himmel. Hey, I also wanted to tell you that if you want to sponsor the show, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. And the website, along with having links to where to listen to past interviews, also has links to where to find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Mixcloud, Yelp, Tumblr, Twitter. We are also on Facebook. Like the Facebook page, and when I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people find out about us that way. Also links to where to find us on iTunes. And if you subscribe to us in iTunes, rate and comment on the show, more people find out about us. It raises our ranking when you do that. And that's all there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, as well as the Amazon deal of the day. Click on that and buy something at a great discount. It helps support the show. We also got the blog and the daily podcast picture at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Into an interview.
Hello?
Hello, JT.
Yes.
JT Mudd and ISHI. ISHI. Wait, how do you say it?
ISHI, yeah.
ISHI. And JT, I just watched the video to Disco Queen.
Yes, what do you think?
Oh, wow. You have some awesome outfits. Some nice, yeah. Threads.
Well, thank you so much.
And lots of beautiful women that look like a lot of fun.
It was, yeah. I was probably, had a good friend that does a lot of videos around town, and yeah, he totally hooked us up, and it was probably one of the most professional, experiences I've had. So it was cool.
Was that shot around Dallas?
Yeah, it was. It was shot in Oaklawn, kind of at a bottle service club. So that was like pretty much all of its natural decor, so it was just kind of a no-brainer.
Ah. And that was the women? Were they all attendees of this club?
Yeah. No, they were all just, girls that I've known throughout the years and throughout the music scene and stuff.
And how was ISHI created?
ISHI was, basically I was in a band with my younger brother, and we kind of started doing electronic stuff as well, and he decided he wanted to move to California. And the girl I was dating at the time knew this really talented dude named Brad Dale, and she went to college with him, and we just met up, and pretty much he did a couple shows with me with my brother and I's project, filling in for his shoes, and then we're just like, well, let's do our own thing, and that's when we decided to do ISHI.
I see. And what are some of the instruments you use when creating the music? Like, your latest is Digital Wounds, isn't it?
Yes.
And what was it? Is there a particular place you record? What's it like putting your music together?
Yeah, I mean, we are, my producer and I, we're engineers, so, and we know how expensive it can be, being an independent band, and, it definitely works in our benefit to have that skill set. So, I mean, we're able to, record, on laptops and in bedrooms, and, 95% of the sound is coming from software and stuff like that. So that helps really, bump up the fidelity of what we're doing. But, the first record, we definitely had a lot of acoustic guitars and, cello and, dulcimer, stuff like that. This new record, there's a little bit of that in there as well, a little acoustic guitar and stuff, and like the track Mother Prism. But we kind of just wanted to kind of make a more up-tempo kind of banger record for the second album.
And for those people who may not have seen you live, tell them what it's like, your concert experience, the shows you put on.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about the experience of performance. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a party, an uplifting party that, just tries to get you out of the norm, try to shake off the week. But yeah, I mean, we, in Dallas is pretty much where we're only able at this point in time to really go all out. But I mean, yeah, we have pretty extensive productions from, lasers and projection and, sometimes dancers. We aspire to be as professional and entertaining as much as the budget will allow us to be. So, any kind of high performance entertainment show you see, I mean, it's definitely that with, our twist and flair on it, which is definitely, I think, invokes a good time.
And you're coming to the DNA Lounge in San Francisco. That's close to where I am.
Okay, cool.
August 1st.
August 1st, we'll be at the DNA Lounge. I think we're the second of 4 bands. Yeah. It's the first time in San Francisco. We're extremely excited about it.
Ooh. Do people thank you for all the calories they burn at your shows? Because I see there's a lot of dancing.
Yeah, we haven't drawn up a chart for that yet, but I think that's something to look into.
And that would be, that's like a program they could put in their phone to tell them what workout they do. You know, instead of sit-ups, they can go to an ISHI concert.
Exactly. Yeah, I like where your head's at.
And what did the name ISHI come from?
Like, it actually strives from the Japanese vernacular. And that you basically have ISHI and spelled with 2 I's at the end or 1 I. And at our early stages, it was with 2 I's at the end. And I believe that meaning means like a well, like a source of water.
Oh.
And then when you drop the other I, it starts meaning like rock and man and husband. You know, just a solid foundation.
Ah, interesting.
And and then we kind of embraced that, and then just through just doing our thing for a while, we came across the story of ISHI, the Native American, and so we've just kind of invoked just that spirit of freedom and dance and nature as well.
And I noticed some of your outfits have like Native American themes to them.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like I said, yeah, we've, I have some, me and the producer, we both have Native American blood in us. And, it's been a great experience to be able to really get into that for sure.
And then you have the glowing glasses.
Yeah, we got this really cool company out here in Dallas that makes those glasses, and they're a lot of fun. They're called EL wire. There's kind of like the same technology that the new Tron, those kind of lighted suits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's that same kind of thing going on. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I have some of my headdresses all dolled up in that stuff too, so it makes for an interesting sight for sure.
Did you grow up in Dallas?
I grew up in Fort Worth. I went to kind of the outskirts of Fort Worth proper, and then I moved out here for work. To work at clubs doing sound. And so I've been in Dallas for about 8 or 9 years now.
And was that working in those clubs kind of pull you into the electronic music world?
No, I mean, it was kind of always done like the post-punk, indie rock type stuff. And my brother got a drum machine, and that kind of really opened our palette, if you will, to kind of explore those sounds. And then once Brad and I, our producer for ISHI, really got going, he's more fluid in the dance culture and in the production of those things. So I mean, he was a house DJ and producer as well, prior to ISHI. And so he really, educated me in that skill and in that culture. So I was just kind of more of a, indie rock kid. So
I see.
Yeah.
Would have you? Well, now I see that you were handpicked by New Order to open for them. Did you get to meet Bernard right. Summer? Isn't it?
Yeah. Sumner. Yeah. I did. Yeah, he was.
Whoa.
Those guys were extremely nice. It was definitely overwhelming to play for New Order's crowd. Just not knowing if not to be disrespectful to them, but just not knowing if they listen to current music.
Right.
That type of thing. And, it's New Order, like, who really cares about the opener, you know. So, but yeah, it really went well, and it seemed like they took a liking to what we're doing, and Bernard got to meet him. He was able to sign a box set of mine, and just, you know, he totally dug the project and was really kind.
Did he have any interesting words of advice, or did he say anything that stuck out in your head?
No, I mean, the main thing was just, you know, he said, I really enjoy what you guys are doing. Y'all did a great set, and he's like, keep it up. So, yeah, that definitely made my night for sure.
So he was in a band other than New Order called Electronic that featured the lead singer guy from Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Neil Tennant. That's it.
Okay.
And they did a song, whatever I do, it's plain to see. I love you more than you love me. It was like from the early 90s. And,
that sounds cool.
And it kind of had the Pet Shop Boy guy singing backup, you know, and then Bernard was singing the lead, and lots of drum machines and synthesizers and stuff. And what would you think of, what would you say would you want to do anything with the Pet Shop Boys?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think one of their recent singles, I think it might be called Elysium. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I don't know. It's been on my Pandora station popping up a lot, and that's a newer tune that I think came out in the last couple of years. But yeah, I would love to work with any of those guys for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be a neat collaboration with you guys. That'd be cool.
No, absolutely.
And I'm going to play Emotional Hard Drive right now, and I watched the video, and I was blown. Oh, who did that?
Man, we have this, I mean, he's becoming, you know, a friend, and, yeah, he was just kind of, at the time, when I met him, just a huge super fan, and, that song kind of just motivated him. That's kind of what he was into, was creating animation and stuff like that, and, the song just really inspired him to, you know, put in the time and his all to, you know, make a kick-ass video. All
these robots, and they're all working and dancing, and it's awesome. What's his name?
His name is Chase Gilman.
Chase Gilman. Interesting. Yeah, so people should look up that video because it is neat. And the website for ISHI is ishimusic.com, and they're also at ishimusic.bandcamp.com. And you've got links to where to find SoundCloud. You're on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's all pretty much ISHI Music, you know, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, yeah.
What inspired the song Emotional Hard Drive?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. It was just kind of just a story, a storyline of just kind of the ebb and flows, and, you know, in a relationship, just kind of how there can just be friction, you know, with just being kind of disconnected, and just how our emotions can kind of rule us to a default and not always be the best, you know, way to communicate.
Wow. That's true. What you just said was very organic and electronic at the same time. You said default.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what this song is, right? A little mix of the two.
I agree.
Emotional Hard Drive. It's ISHI. I'm talking to JT Mudd. It's Mike's Daily Podcast. Emotional Hard Drive by the band ISHI. As we go outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California, tomorrow the finale of my intimate interview with ISHI and JT Mudd.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And you can see a picture of JT Mudd and his band ISHI there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Mike and Marshall, he has a beautiful mustache. Yes, it's a huge mustache. It's amazing. So you should definitely go to MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com to see that. And Madame Rootabega, you should definitely never mumble again and keep talking in that great accent because it's wonderful. We all love it. So does Basil. Oh, thank you. Oh, Basil. Oh, that's a very painful kiss you're giving me. Oh. Tomorrow, the finale of my interview with ISHI. Plus, we will hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
Hey, Kristen Stewart, do you want to go on a date with me?
Vampire.